So in this week's episode, we've made it to Italy. We're on our way down to Rome via Pisa, via Turin.
Yeah, we test the EV capabilities through the French-Italian Alps, travelling through multiple tolls and hundreds of tunnels, arranging going through Turin, Pisa and finally to Rome.
We do, and there's some really interesting statistics as well on the diesel versus the electric. This is where the competition really starts to heat up. No spoilers, but I can promise you it's a really interesting little trip. And finally, we have a chat at the end. We relive all our favourite moments.
We learn a lot, we absorb everything that we've taken on board, and then obviously head to Rome and travel back.
Few run-ins with the police, but you'll see. We are at the Tunnel de Alpine. It's a 13-kilometre tunnel.
We've just gone through and paid €71 for the van and for this one, and then €54 for the smaller van. So just getting to go through the tunnel now. Absolutely amazing scenery. Sit and absorb it. The range.
It's taken a bit of a hit.
It has.
1.4 miles a kilowatt hour because we've just been climbing.
We're a bit higher than Snowdon right now. So yeah, it's 13 kilometres. So just a bit of an update charging where we are on the costs. We're looking at £203 for this van, for the electric van, and £169 for the diesel, which
but
is currently...
diesel is due to be filled once we get the other side.
He's having a bit of range anxiety himself. He's in the red, and it's been a while actually since we've seen a petrol station.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there'll be one en route. So yeah.
Cool.
I think that's everything.
Enjoy the tunnel. Time to fill up, is it, mate?
Yeah. Surprisingly, it's been okay. Thoughts just under quarter of the tank now. So I'll fill that down and good to go.
I think this should do you to Rome, yeah.
Good stuff.
See you. quick update. We've made it to Pisa. As you can see, we've got the Leaning Tower of Pisa behind us.
It's been a fairly lengthy journey, but a good journey today.
Way better.
The
range has been incredible.
Yeah, given the fact we've gone through lots of tunnels through the Alps, the range has been really, really good. I suppose going downhill, we pressed it.
Lots of downhill. Amazing scenery, absolutely incredible, and we're excited to stop at Pisa. We're still going to be going on to Rome tonight, but quick stop, see the Leaning Tower.
Grab some food,
and some beers,
and then drive
back on the road.
Great.
We've just gone to plug in the car park, and we've noticed a slight issue. So we've got a standard Type 2 cable here, but that's an actual plug, EU plug. Okay, so here we are. We're in a restaurant. We finally made it.
Yes.
What's your good drive so far today?
Do you know what? I think today's been my favourite day of driving. Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing. Going for the Alps, I'm driving through
the coastal path
down
from Tuscany. Has been really, really nice, isn't it?
So we've obviously, we did the Alps. The Alps were absolutely stunning, amazing, incredible vistas.
I'm glad we did it in the day because
if we were going to do that last night like we planned.
Yeah, we would have been
missed
all
out on
dark.
missed out on way too much.
And then I think the coastal path, big thumbs up.
It was beautiful, yeah.
Cool.
But in
driving to
terms,
like Milan and stuff was lovely as well. You go through all the tunnels, everything was just wicked. You know what I mean?
A lot of tunnels, right? A lot of tolls, which is I knew there were a few, but there was a lot of tolls.
Yeah, do you know what? Right, I think we need a better system for that, especially for tourists and things like that. So it turns out you can get like a tag. You said you've got to stop
I was jumping in and out of the vehicles, getting the tickets, and then I've googled that you can get this tag system, which means you can just drive up to the barrier, it lets you through, and you obviously pay for your banking system, which is much better, but it's not.
But there's no information out there about that. So obviously he's in the car on his own. He's got to get in front of us. Then we have to get behind. Then Richard has to jump out in front.
Sir,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Salute, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Here we are.
Hey,
Cheers.
Thank you.
But in terms of the EV,
it's been amazing.
yeah, it has. I mean,
Way better.
and we've done how many hours together in that van? Like every
Today alone, we've done 8 hours.
Yeah, and the comfort.
9 hours.
It is really comfortable.
It is ridiculously comfortable. We've done 2 full days of driving in that now, haven't we?
I found today surprising because you lasted a lot longer in the van today.
So really,
So today, I found that the drive has to each charging point has lasted longer than it has.
I laughed
since
that we're in
yesterday.
sync with the van because at the moment we need brakes the same time as the van needs charging.
Yeah.
Before the van needs charging.
So no, it's been really good to be fair.
But definitely, as you said, 140 miles. That's what
Seems
this
to be-
van can do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so when you fully charge the van and turn it on, it says you've got, about 189 miles range, 186 you haven't. We've been driving really sensibly today.
All EV.
Perfect conditions.
Yeah.
It's been, plenty of downhill conditions, dry roads, perfect temperature. Is 140, 150 at a push.
I mean,
you took it right down.
Most EV drivers know that their gasometer is
off.
Is
but
off.
The Vauxhall one is.
It's
really
really off.
You get to halfway charge, it still says you've got 100 miles, and there's no way you haven't, because after 50,
Exactly. But again, even from, when we got into Italy, I was worried maybe, the availability of chargers weren't quite there compared to France, which France was brilliant. And they are equally as good. And you don't have to come off the road far, literally 2 minutes off.
quick turn off the road.
And-
And they're normally, so in France, they were in the middle of nowhere, right? Here, they're always in shopping centres, so there's always toilets or something about. You topped up your petrol tank about 200 miles ago.
Yeah.
Our bruschetta is all right. Fantastic, thank you very much.
Thank you.
How many miles have you got left? Well, how much of a tank have you got left?
I've got half a tank left.
Yeah?
Really? Okay, interesting.
Not actually over half.
Yeah, so you get about 500 miles to a full tank, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Good drive so far?
So far, it's been lovely. Yeah, I think
Tiring?
It's not that bad. I think I've been doing things to keep myself entertained while I'm driving, but the scenery's been amazing. I think that's what softens the blow.
And
So
just
you
to
got
show you guys really quick, we've got literally right behind us, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We couldn't be in a better place right now. I don't think we're really happy.
Yeah,
And
really
I
good.
mean,
And
the end destination makes it worth it. As well.
it does.
100%.
We've only got 200 miles to go to Rome, okay? And that'll be done tonight. I don't know what time, depending on what time we finish here and get back on the road. But it's nice that we've had an opportunity to have a little bit of a break and absorb what we've just done, because we've been back to back driving, and
been a mammoth task. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's been worth it. Every minute has been worth it. I think, and the best thing we've done is not do it through the drive last night. If we did the whole thing last night, we would have missed out on so much. But doing it today has been worth it. We've seen everything. It's beautiful, lovely country.
Anything you change?
Anything I would change? I'd probably just get a big stick that I can get tickets out, so you don't have to keep running out on the booth. But apart from that,
I'm quite quick now.
Yeah.
And
We've got a good little rhythm going.
And depending on the payment system, it takes different cards, but it's easy. It's just a bit of a hassle, okay? Because it's the regularity of stopping, and we don't get that in Britain. You can just drive from Land's End to John O'Groats without really hitting a toll, and they don't appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay. So
Cool.
on that note, we'll catch
See you
up
in
with guys
Rome.
a bit,
Yeah.
For the last charge of the trip to Rome, we found some chargers. We had to come down a really, really bizarre country lane. Arrived at this hotel, couldn't see any chargers out the front. And then we started following an even darker lane, and we managed to find some. And then we found some more. And more. And even more again. Right, so we're 114 miles away from Rome. We're at our last charging stop. We're quite excited. We've been absolutely bombing it as fast as the roads actually allow. So we haven't been as efficient as possible, but this is our last charge.
Yeah,
How many?
we've done 15 charges.
And a couple of those have been smaller ones. So
Yeah,
we've
topping
added,
up in order to get to charging stations that might
so
have
let's say
facilities. and
north
things.
to full, 12 full charges?
Yeah, 12 full, realistically 12 full charges.
Yeah.
It's been a great experience. It really has. And throughout this, the amount of available charges, just have a look around.
Astonishing. I mean, you'll see in the clip that I just filmed here very quickly. This, again, middle of nowhere, just came off the motorway about half a mile down the road, round a country lane. There's 28 chargers. Again, exactly the same as France, chargers everywhere. We stopped in a Carrefour supermarket, and they had a bank of chargers, some random brand, but available again.
But at no point have we struggled.
No, we haven't. We haven't had to panic about range anxiety. In fact, Fabs, who's filming right now with the diesel van, as you saw earlier, he had a bit of range anxiety in his diesel van when he got down to the red. There was less petrol stations along the way than there were EV chargers. We've just been right. We've got 20 miles left. Just pull off and charge.
Yeah.
So it's been really good in that regard. It's been a long trip.
Yeah, I won't lie. Yeah.
1,500 miles so far.
Yeah, but it's we're nearly there, and it's great.
Yeah.
And we're just
We're
going to
excited.
we need to do a full charge, 114 miles to get a full charge here, overnight charge at the hotel, then in central Rome tomorrow, and the end of our trip.
Yeah. But a full charge here will get us into central Rome. It's just we don't want to be caught in the city. So one thing we noticed in Pisa is not as many chargers there in the city.
Yes,
So,
I mean, obviously it's got a historical place around the walls of Pisa, so we had to drive out a little bit. That was the
couple
only...
of slow chargers dotted around.
Yeah.
Whether or not they were actual slow chargers with proper Type 2 connectors, I don't know. They looked like normal 3-pin European sockets. But back home, you'd normally see an Osprey charger somewhere or a BP charger somewhere. You don't seem to get that here. You don't have like a single 50 kilowatt or 100 kilowatt charger in the town centre. So it's just these super chargers that are dotted about. So I guess a little bit of anxiety in that regard. We'd rather go into Rome fully charged. But it's been great. It's been really good. I think people are a bit astonished at the time. So we set ourselves 5 days because we thought this could be an absolute disaster. We might need to charge, 16 good full charges. We won't be able to drive more than 60 miles an hour, but we've done it. We're 3 days in, and we're literally 100 miles away from Rome. And everybody we've been messaging, to say where we are. We put the Pisa post up earlier. They're all a bit shocked that we've done so many miles in such a fast period.
Short period, yeah. So looking forward to next end of the journey.
So
And,
we'll see you in Rome.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, guys, as you can see, we've made it. We've got the Colosseum behind us, the electric van. It's done it. It's made it from Neath to Rome.
Yeah,
we've got our t-shirts on.
We have through the shuttle, France, the French Alps, down the Italian coast, all the way to Rome.
Really tight roads in Rome. I think Fabs has had a bit of a shock trying to
negotiate all the cobble roads. You'll see that in the video.
we've done it. I can't believe we're here.
Yeah, and it's been flawless. We've had charges, availability, no problems at all. And now we're just going to negotiate
3
around
days.
the Colosseum. Right?
3 days.
Yeah.
So we're going to check out the Colosseum. We're going to check out a little bit of Rome, get some pasta, get some beers, and we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
Where do we begin?
Let's start with Neath.
Yeah.
Getting out.
Like you can get it, yeah. So I think we've done some really good stuff. But just from an early point of view, which is going in the electric video stuff that we've done, because we own the Italian as well.
Yeah, so like all the technological things that you've put in.
Yeah.
But
So go on.
Look, we've got the fridge, right? We've got the
About a 50-litre fridge.
Yeah.
So you could live in this.
Why not?
50-litre fridge. We've got a big 3.6 kilowatt-hour battery.
Yeah. Linked up, we've got
Starlink, 5G.
Yeah.
Right.
and
Radio.
not to mention the alternating power, the reverse power from the battery, the van battery, into the.
Those are the batteries. They'll stay charging, trying to be able to charge. We've been able to keep our phones powered, we've been able to keep our Starlink powered, we've been able to everything.
And also, we've not had to buy the Starbucks or a Costa.
We've got a coffee machine we've got.
We've had a coffee machine, we've bought some milk, bought some cookies and coffees. That's beautiful things.
May I add? Yeah, a coffee. It was really good.
Yeah.
It's tried out Amazon single origin Colombian espresso.
Yeah.
I mean, I really went off Nespresso. I only like, fresh. They're going to say it was really good.
Yeah, but you needed two pods.
That was the magic number.
Yeah, it was. And people, when you spoke to people, you gave it to them. I mean, I don't know what they were expecting when you.
When somebody doors up and offers you coffee and cookies at the back of a van, you generally taught from a young age to say no. But we forced them upon them.
Yeah.
They accepted. Not much choice.
And
Gave
yeah.
them a t-shirt.
Gave them a t-shirt, which had gone down really well, and gave them a cookie and a coffee. Talked to them about their free in Britain anyway. Talked to them about their EV experiences, as well as renewable energy more generally. And it was a great open conversation. And it's the car, it's the van, kitted out like that has meant that we've been able to be on the road in communication fluent.
Yeah.
We've
still been running phones, we've still been talking to our customers.
Yeah, the phone has been ringing.
Office has been invited through.
In terms of my office, I've been able to take it, put it in the front and just work as normal.
And if we put a desk in, that's it, you can stick in mats and iMac.
But I think, having the Starlink's been really good help. It's been a telecom site like for a year, because I've been doing conducting meetings while I've been filming images at the same time. It's been really, really helpful. Every time we stop for a charge as well, managed to catch up with it and get things that I need to do. So we have been, even though we've been driving from north to the road, as a collective, we've all been productive at the same time, which we
voices back.
yeah.
Shout out to Aaron as well. Aaron who's going to be the opportunity in 22. We've given uploaded the footage to hundreds of gigabytes as we've been using it.
And I think, let's be honest, this is our first go. Our first stab at something like this.
So apologies to Trojan's faulty in this way.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've learned so much in terms of B-roll footage, how much, when you're on the road for 3 days and you have to say, when to stop, we have to then film, we have to do edits, cuts, takes. That time, and you're not getting into Paris till 4 a.m. in the morning.
But we left our office in Neath at 11 a.m.
Yeah, we did.
We estimated it was going to take us until 7 days long.
Yeah.
And we told our family, sorry, we're going away for a week for a business trip. It's really necessary, it's important to do this.
Yeah. Yes.
And we'll be gone at least the 5 days to get there, and likely 4 days to get there.
And also,
But we did it in 3.
we did, and also time was added on because in Britain, obviously not so much in France and Italy, but in Britain we were talking to people. In Chippen and Pitstop, we spent.
We were value charts. We were talking to every music turned up, and there's one car left, and somebody we were talking to, somebody else pulled in, and we started talking to it. And
It was awesome, and it was great. It was a small business at the end of the day. and we got to speak to people from across Britain.
I think that speaks to both the EV community and the solar community, the type of people that are in these communities. I mean, this is your first, apart from us, your first chair, people stats all the time, banging off. But this is your first experience, and you speak to the people who are into solar.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you mean?
interesting, very talkative. I find. I think once you get into the bit of it, but the negative way, I think you both drive electric cars. I drive a diesel. So when I go off based electric, go fill up and off and go. But I think in this experience, it's been rather different. It's been nice, interesting to people, and everyone has, you know, the same sort of control some other ways as well. And I think talking to people when we talk about charging a car, solar power, or anything like that, everyone's getting involved and talking. It was really good. And we did a lot more of that in the UK. We spent a lot more time with it.
Chipping in itself helped as a service.
The
first stop. You know, there are sometimes people just sit in their car quite rightly. It's pouring with rain. You're not going to stand outside. It's a beautiful day.
everything was on our side.
Everything was, and as Sasha says, you're right. The community are brilliant because you get to talk about their experiences about availability, when they bought their car, what sort of setup they got at home, what tariff they want, you know, and the exchange of information between the EV community is really good.
So moving on, then we did the email and got the fine, free charge. All started okay.
Really? Yeah, no. But the tunnel was relatively easy. It was empty. We charged up.
Well split that. There's the combo volumes classed as small vehicle, there's the classed as large.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And we got chatting to a member of staff on the tunnel, gave him a coffee and cookie. And
the rapper.
You know, met a rapper as well, which was interesting.
People you run into.
You do.
You know what I mean?
And it's like 40 minutes. You're then on the other side, and it was our intention initially to stay outside Calais, but then
we thought we'd match up.
Well, the night before we thought we'd just crack on and get in.
We did that to this.
Yeah.
Took a bit longer than we'd hoped to get to Paris.
Yeah.
And then
It's not the lights not on the night.
so we wanted to get a shot in front of the Eiffel.
We did.
We did see it. We drove past it, but you should have seen it a fair deal. Now, the hotel, what did you get there? It was double tree bedroom. In general, it was quite nice hotels.
Yeah.
You know, family orientated, give you a cookie when you check in. We like them, we like cookies.
I mean, it was.
It's in the car park.
It was different, to say the least. But I mean, you know, it was a comfortable room. To me, you know, at the end of the day, 4 o'clock in the morning, I just wanted a bed. The problem, and we can talk about this later, is, well, you guys, and even with driving, you can't just drive, stop, and sleep straight away. So you've got to go to this. You're just in the wire.
So, you are. And ordinarily, right, you pull up into a hotel car park, you come in, you do your check-in, Janice, right? Got like normally like 5-10 minutes. Up to, you know, brush your teeth, get ready for bed, and that's it, you switch off. That's not what happened though. So you had the right there parking to start with. So the van wouldn't fit in the car. There was nothing on the answer. The vehicle's over 1.8 meters tall.
I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. You can obviously get through.
Yes, his area was touching.
Yeah. The van we were in.
And it's not particularly a tall van. And then outside was wall-to-wall vans. It was blocked. The EV bay was blocked, so there's no policing that. And then one of the reasons we chose that hotel is it had EV chargers. We hope we can get there, but it's going to be the same charge. That wasn't the case.
That did delay us. The next day, obviously, we didn't wake up particularly early.
Hang on, right? Because we went in, it took it's 4 to 5 minutes to get checked in. We didn't know what the guy was doing. He didn't say a word to us. No thanks for checking in, no welcome, nothing.
And then we got upstairs, it was like a hostel. It was awful, really bad. Do you remember?
Our bedrooms were immediately outside the lift.
It's a noise outside.
So the lift was, you know, and that was happening pretty much from
Reaching as it goes up
5 a.m. right through to 9, 10 o'clock when we.
Well, you just figured it's in the floor. I don't know what it is like for the old roof. Zero bit further out.
Yeah, well, it took me about 2 hours, but then once I passed out, I'm deep sleeper, so I don't care anyway.
And then upon check, I mean, I'm not going to complain, but when they say, you know, how was your room, how was your stay? And I said, just not very good, to be honest. They said, didn't like it? They said, no, it was like a hostel. The rest is Parisian, sir. It's not good. It wasn't. But there we are. So we won't be staying in the hotel. We hit the roads.
Well, we
charged.
We had to charge. We got to Westfield Shopping Centre, and I mentioned the fact that we drove into the shopping centre. The height was 2.1, but we couldn't get out of the shopping centre because everything was 1.9. And eventually we found an exit to get out, and we eventually got on the road out of Paris on our way south
with every intention of getting to Italy.
Yeah, I mean,
staying outside.
The roads were smooth, the roads were clear. Yes, there was roadworks, but you didn't really, it didn't matter because there was no heavy traffic. But the sheer size of France, it just...
I would say, I'm interested. I was telling you guys at Sergey, either today or yesterday, why am I interested in France? I didn't realise it that big. I think it was like, sort of Newcastle as well.
Usually a bit more and so on.
Yeah, but no, it was a good drive. As I said, there was traffic, but what I find it fast. So that's great.
There's no traffic jams at the motorways. It's not like the M25 where there's stuff and you just break one.
We did find that mobile pizza, 3-minute pizza machine that you love.
They only had one pizza.
Yeah, I know.
It was a tuna pizza. It was really nice.
I didn't try it. I was worried. It was a tuna pizza cooked in 3 minutes. I was like, well, you know,
it's still here. It's still here, I'm sure.
I know. No, fair play. But
anyway, we started here to roll. Like later that night, you know, we pushed on to the Alps. We started from the wall. We needed somewhere to charge. And I think we all got a bit snappy with each other.
Yeah, I think it does. I think one thing
was at 1 o'clock in the morning.
We're all really good friends. We have been for a number of years. But one thing I will say is we've learned a lot about ourselves and what makes everyone tick. So I think once you've been on the road for like 12 hours of solo driving, I mean the smallest little thing was just that big, just seconds.
It's like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah. So I think when we got to the Alps and you know when we found the charger, and then you're like, let's just stay here.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I think it's the best decision.
Considering we'd all got on each other's nerves just, you know, half an hour before, to be stuck in a dorm room together. I can't make it up.
But in fairness, it was very clean. Yes, they did. The guy.
It wasn't though. It still sawdust.
Yeah, it was still sawdust. Yeah, I mean, it was. Bizarrely, some bits were really, really clean, and then other bits, like you say, had sawdust in it. But the guy behind reception, he could see we could see.
There's one room.
And let's go up a little bit. See if you're happy with it, then you can have it. At the word. So we did, and something I absolutely right, because the next day we knew we had a big drive. Okay, and then we got up punctually, and we could hit the road fully charged. That's one thing. You've got to wake up with a fully charged car, and we could then get through the Alps. And then.
Well, this is it. I think the fact that we woke up in the morning and we started that drive, I think, particularly in the day, all that scenery, you know, for the French Alps, you know what?
It were a lot of fun.
It really does, because we would have
been really sad. We'd have missed out on
that. I mean, that would have been a tough drive. Yeah, I've been driving for the Alps.
bendy road.
Yeah.
I will say, shout out to the EV though, in terms of the region, the first.
That was amazing. I mean, the first leg of the journey, we were a bit worried you were like, oh.
Yeah, we're going uphill. It's eating in, the miles per kilowatt
And
hour.
all of a sudden,
Chopping.
we were getting 2.8, 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour.
But the
The van was really fast. And we got 60 miles.
This is what I was surprised more than anything. Because when we got to the Alps, I was the one that was nervous. There was two reasons why. A, I was on leg, and I was like, do they have petrol stations in the mountain? I don't know. I think we went, right, you got to find a petrol station in the mountain, but luckily we found one. And then I was worried that the same worries that you had. You're going uphill, you're like, what's going to happen? But I think that day was the best day of driving for you guys, because I was anticipating 90, 100 miles, okay, we'll go to the 90. But
We had to stop for rest breaks before that.
yeah.
The number of times we pulled over to use the loo and to stretch our legs, and the van wouldn't need a charger. I was shocked.
Yeah, so
Really
yeah,
like
like, well,
And I mean, we're not old men. We don't need to fly everything.
No, but given the distance we're travelling in one day, the EV charger brakes were. It forces you to take a break.
Yeah.
You take a proper break.
Yeah.
And that really is important. Like, at the end of the day, so people know this, when you're driving long distances, you get knackered.
Yeah.
But by having
It is
these breaks,
important.
you were able to stretch your legs.
We get back in the van, you refresh.
Yeah, totally.
but I think really helped as well.
The coffee good.
Like you make the 2-pot coffee back, and away you go with ours.
I think that's something that we can touch on often is, well, it has got 500 mile range.
Well, this to be my beef with it.
So if they did have a 500 mile range, do you think we'd be stopping any less?
Yeah. But I think if you've got a 500 mile range, I think it makes you want to put your foot down a little bit more, I suppose.
I think you have fat.
Yeah, you've got conscientious
Yeah.
driving with the deep.
But yeah, you do. I found, having driven a lead, only a 40 kilowatt hour battery. I'm conscious that, I can only go so far. I can take it steady. And it's, I just think.
That was another thing I was nervous about as well. So, on the day we took off from Neath, the only thing that was in my head was going, you have to drive between 50 and 60.
War last experience was really.
Yeah, it wasn't a great experience. It's because it's the mileage that I do, the type of driving that I experience. I went down the country, so it's not being anything for that. But considering what we've achieved in the last 3 days, it's definitely worth doing, and the infrastructure is there.
In some shortly, broadly speaking,
That's the biggest.
without question, the naysayers saying there's not the infrastructure.
There was all the
completely-
EV charge stations, especially once you get to the French side.
Yeah,
And
certainly.
then there are petrol stations.
Yeah,
When we say, this is me personally, I don't drive any cars. You guys can shed some light on this. From what I've seen in the UK versus what I've seen in Italy and what I've seen in France, these guys are geared up a lot more here for
And yeah, we were just telling somebody, we met a couple who were having food earlier, they were British, looked at us, they were like, and they said, how was it? And we said, surprisingly, and they did it right. I mean, you pull into a station here, they've got 38 chargers. You pull into a station in the UK, you're lucky if you've got 4.
yeah.
And there's no queues.
Difference between Britain and the way France
There was an EV station. Never once. There's always been chargers available. They've all been walking in. We haven't come across a single charger.
not one, and that's another thing. Not one charger. We had to phone up and say,
Oh, it's not working. Can you reset it? Can you do this, that, and the other? I mean,
or it's not compatible. You see those things on YouTube and stuff all the
I
time.
mean, admittedly, we've been using all Ionity and Tesla chargers. Rarely do I come across an Ionity charger that doesn't work.
yeah.
I think never come across a Tesla charger this year. But I think they've made it. They really
They
have.
have. And then we get to the final stretch.
Well, they've got through so we leave the Alp. Incredible thing. We've done the coast of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, sir, we've put that amazing photo up. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it really was, and a great opportunity to sort of take a break That was a very long stretch from where we were on the French side of the Alps all the way to what effectively is Rome. Pisa was a great middle.
It was nice to kind of, you know, once we've
Have some dinner,
stretch your legs, look around, eat some beautiful gelato as well, you know, and it was nice just to kind of sit there and just talk.
Yeah.
You know, even though we like talking on the radio and stuff.
And it was the first real experience we'd had in some warm weather, straight out of summer.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So good.
And all these times, I was running out of the car, and of course they've got aircon on. I didn't realise. I opened the door. All of a sudden, I'm in Italy. I've hit Italy because the heat. It did hit me when I got in to grab a ticket from the top.
I want to say thank you for that as well.
Yeah, it did a lot of
That's what we're going to do on the way back.
Yeah, we've got to figure that out. But,
so we pull into Rome, right? We pull into this hotel. Obviously, we did a quick video to say, you know, we arrived in Rome. We go to bed. We're going to wake up the French, drive into the actual city tomorrow. What to take. What were your thoughts this morning as we pulled into Rome?
Do you know what? It's beautiful, but there's a huge buffet. There's whispers moving everywhere.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah. It's like
Driving around Rome,
it's
EV or diesel or petrol.
whatever.
And it doesn't matter if you're in a big, long wheelbase van or you're in a smart car.
Yeah, smart car.
Which there are plenty of.
Yeah.
it's
The cobble roads, you know, the people.
6 wide lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
People going everywhere. It's scary.
It is, but
There's a system. It works somehow. It works.
quite frankly, parking outside the Colosseum, looking at it, you know,
Yeah.
absolutely
I mean,
brilliant.
that was our first stop.
Yeah, it was. It will.
And then just around the corner, we went to a restaurant. We said, oh, that restaurant looks good. You park outside.
Yeah.
You have your food. We get back in, off we go.
But the beautiful thing about that restaurant, just to expand on that, the people in there are really nice. There for loads of t-shirts.
Well, what's this? Beer. And they one of those t-shirts, and they just walked with them. They didn't know what we were doing. I said, what those?
So we just started giving
I
them.
think they gave away the 10, 12 t-shirts, and they kept coming up on me. So everyone wants one, the uncle wants one, the boss wants one, the boss's son wants one, everybody. It was a really funny experience. I've got a video that will go through it.
Yeah.
But it was.
It was amazing, and you know,
Actually, still, in Rome,
Yeah.
people were asking us about that journey. Where did we
you know, where's Neath? Well, let's talk to them where Neath is. You know, where,
it's not in the Netherlands.
it's not in the Netherlands, you know, it was. Put joking to one side, it was emotional. We've done so many hours of travelling and charging, and
But I know there's people watching this who do 3,000. And when I met that person who flying from Edinburgh to Warsaw.
yes, it was
the first time, yeah.
yeah.
But it is a long way, especially with the film, because we've got to keep stopping and making sure we've got cameras rolling and things like that. There's a lot of coordination and charging. We have to keep stopping the charge. But we made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made it to Rome
I think
in an EV. It didn't take us, it took us half as long as we thought it would. It was 2.5 days really.
Solid.
Solid driving with break, with soups. I mean, if you were doing it non-stop and you had your driving, you could stay up for hours or nights, you could probably do it in not much longer than it would take a regular vehicle.
yeah.
I mean, sensibly, because the charge.
I'd say 35 hours
Yeah.
of actual road trip,
Possibly would be.
as opposed to the 27. So we could probably do it with these if we didn't have rest roads.
But when I got to Rome, the take home for me was I've got a wife and 2 children, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and nearly 3, nearly 6. And I always think long distance, and I know I've only got a Leaf and it's only 40 kilowatts, but I can get to the continent and I could do it. And actually, I would always switch to a diesel for that sort of distance because I don't want, at the end of the day, just stopping every so.
I mean, you're looking at getting an Enya.
Yeah, so I'm looking.
So you're looking at something that's got, 200 miles range.
Yeah, EV.
Rapid charging.
And we're a bit quicker with the charging. Yeah, because the Leaf only goes at 50.
So next time you're going to come, would you take the Enya?
Yeah, definitely. Well,
I mean, it's got better range than the van.
yeah, it's got much better range than the van, and it just makes, we'll talk about how many, how much it costs and everything, but it really hit home that families can use EVs to go long distances. It's not.
And I think, you've got the Ford's in Transit or Transit Electric. That's got over 200 kilometer range on your biggest battery.
Yeah.
Use it as a camper, right? You could use it as a camper. Stop at these hotels that have got free charging, which appears there's quite a few of you fancy for you. And you travel Europe, for almost nothing. Which brings us on to
the cost.
And so
I don't know anything about this.
how did they get this?
We have.
The irony being that he just had to fill up again because he wouldn't have made it back to the hotel from Rome, whereas we still had charge.
We did, but we won't throw that in. So, if the total cost for the EV van was £274.78, the van, the diesel van, was £237.3p.
However, there's a caveat.
There is a big caveat, and that is the cost of the EV chargers in Britain, which was 74p, against the average cost of the European chargers.
So we worked out, and
If you-
we were using the Volkswagen LE charging cards, but we don't have a contract for that, so we're not paying a monthly fee or monthly service for it. And so we had to pay full whack. They are anonymity chargers, which is the first three chargers we used in the UK, one in France. They were extortionate, right? We were talking 74 pence a kilowatt hour, 10 times more than charging at home, 3 times more than these chargers, Europe cost. So, if the chargers in the UK, let's say we had a charger contract, or if the chargers in the UK were the same as the ones in Europe, how much would the electric van cost us?
Believe it or not, the electric van, if we average out the cost of the European chargers in Britain, it would have cost the EV £230.21.
So we've been ever so slightly cheaper than the
Fractionally cheaper.
And what we're not taking into account is we're also going to have to stick admin in that van.
Yes, that's right.
It's the lights about to come on, because I know lights off a couple of thousand miles ago, and it's doing like in sort of 3,000 or 4,000 miles right to add to it. So there's another cost of £20. That van is going to need oil.
Yeah.
These are the types of things you have to consider.
I mean,
It's got a time with
your experience with your.
Well, I've had my e-tron 3.5 years.
Yes. How many brake pads have you had?
I'm still on the original brake pads. I've done 65,000 miles, and I'm still on the original brake pads.
You don't get that with
There's no timing belt to go wrong. There's no engine that needs to be loaded, or there's nothing. I mean, it will just keep going, and the battery isn't degrading. But onto the actual like-for-like stats, which is the fuel to fuel. If it's the electric vehicle versus diesel. If the charges in the UK were the same as your Pentland, which again are recorded on the wind farms and so on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right. But if we were paying less for wholesale electricity in the UK, or the network, because really as medium as West, and the wholesale electricity in the UK is 50 truck. Then it would be cheaper to drive an electric than the diesel using only public charging.
Exactly. And more comfortable.
I would say so.
Yeah, really. So, and it's we were on the M4 saying, the diesel stop this already. We said
From the first couple of charges,
we were like,
the second charge did
Yeah,
it. It was
it
like,
did.
right, this isn't working.
we're not going to be able
It
to.
wasn't twice the cost though. It was only £40 more.
Yeah, true.
And again, that was because of the UK charges. Had it not been for the UK charges, actually would have been a couple of pounds less. So interesting. We've got a way to go in Britain, I think.
We have
And that's the less that I'm taking for this. We need more public chargers, and then if you're cheaper, and if there's more, there's still have your competition. So
competition brings prices down. It's as simple as.
that's it. And all that, we're going to say good evening.
And good night.